of God. It's different to arrogance. It's different. And you can boast in the Lord for your faithful service and the power of the service you give and how it's softening the hearts of people and opening them to the work of God in their lives. Don't underestimate the power of that. We are part of that. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of what we know God still has for the future. If we've come this far, if we've seen this many new people engage, if we've seen people get added to our number, even in the midst of a pandemic, being such a young church, imagine when we have the open roads, being able to build momentum without this obstacle of this on and off lockdown system that we've been experiencing. The best is yet to come. We haven't seen it, and we're only at the tip of the iceberg, yet we can still celebrate lives that are being changed, transformed by the power of God and this faithful service of His people. Let's not lose sight of that. I want us to stand. I want you to find your team, and we're going to pray for just a minute together before we go and just get ready for... Okay, sweet. Cool. So, find your team. Before you just spend a few minutes in prayer, there are a few announcements I just need to bring up, which are going to be important to take note of. The first one is that you will have noticed when you came this morning that by surprise, the parking, the gate was closed when you tried to drive in and park inside. That is because we recognize that actually church is starting to fill up with quite a few new people, and we need to make sure that our parking is prioritized for them. We all know it's our privilege to host the community, and so we don't take offense to the fact that we can't park comfortably here. It's part of what we understand as our culture. So I know you're all fine with that, and I know some of you actually appreciate it because it just made it easier. You didn't have to go move again. So that's why we did it. So just be aware of that. Something else that we are aware of, and that's very important, is we know our part of the way we express a healthy culture in Southside Church is by our commitment to being on time. We believe in timeliness. If someone said to you now, I'll give you R1,000,000 if you're here at 8 o'clock on the dot. If you had been late all your life, you would be there at 8 on the dot. Why? Because there's something you value so highly and you really want it so bad, you would not dare miss the moment. So in the same way, we value this so much, and it's helping others to embrace that. And so we also want our partners that come into the service at 8:30 to be on time. And we have noticed a lot of people that know this house well, maybe just missing time by showing up at 8:30 instead of being here so that they're ready for the service to begin at 8:30. And so we've seen that it's created quite a build up at the door with the kids, and then the service starts and we're opening for partners that know we start at 8:30. Now it's different if it's a guest. In fact, for a guest, we want to make sure that our partners aren't either disrupting the service by having to open that door and make all the sound come out, or model this way of being late. So we love our people, but we want to create systems that encourage them to come a little bit early. So we're going to say it today in the service to everyone. Guys, we want to encourage you, and those online, if you come, remember we have to take all your details because of COVID. So be here at 8:15, so you make sure by 8:30 we're ready to go. But what we're also going to do is we are aware of the security for our kids after 8:30. Our teachers are now starting to engage with their teams in the kids area. They're starting the program. There's not someone waiting at the front here ready to check in all the kids. So what we're going to do is at 8:30, those doors will close and the doors will be locked from the inside. So no one can get in. It's safe. We're closing off the kids now. It's a secure perimeter for our children. And then they will close the hanging drapery behind that door to soundproof it. And then if people do come with kids and we've started the service at 8:30, they will be guided by the ushers to go through the kitchen. They'll be led through the kitchen, and then they will go through the door there. There'll be someone from kids check-in to assist them. What it will do is it will help our partners to recognize, oh, okay, better start getting here a little bit early so I can get in that door. But it will also show our people that we're serious about the safety of our kids once our service starts. And it also ensures we don't disrupt those that were on time and are busy engaging in a service, that suddenly get this blaring of children's music from the door while they might be engaging in a moment with God. So please be aware of that. Just a system that is going to be in place in case you find yourself being asked a question, you like, I don't know. So that's important. And then something else is handbags, ladies. If you've got bags, please, you've got to keep them with you. We prefer that you don't put them on a chair to book it. The reason is, and don't worry if you've done this, okay? This is the worst part, saying it and then you've done it, and I'm going, oh, we all have experienced and done this. So this is not saying anything to anyone specifically. This is for us generally, and this is part of us developing the way we think around church together. But if you put a bag down on a chair and then walk away, it's communicating a few things. It's first of all communicating familiarity. So if you know this place well, you can just put your bag down and shotgun, I booked my seat. So what it does for anyone that's not part of the church is, oh, well, clearly someone's shotgunned this chair, I better find one. Like, we rather that a chair is taken when someone is seated, or there's a reserved sign, because it feels more like it's not just some person and this is like their spot. Secondly, because our church is healthy, it's not just full of good little Christians. So your bag might go missing. In fact, I consider that a very healthy sign of a good church. If your bag would go missing if you left it somewhere, because it means we don't just have good little Christians coming to our church. So I don't want your stuff stolen, but also we want to continually make this space feel like it's not someone's specifically, it's everyone's. And so we don't want to keep seats by putting private things on them because of that. So please just be aware of that. I do know probably the team will look at a system or something where you can lock bags away, but for now, just keep them on you. You know, defense, you can use it if you have to defend yourself. So there are lots of things that is good for. Cool. We're going to pray, and actually, I'm going to pray because of time. I'm going to ask you to stand and look at the team around you. I would have asked you, if we didn't have COVID, to all hold hands like in unity. But I want you to see each other now. And I want you to look across at the different people that are in the circle you're part of. I want you to see the diversity of the people around you. I want you to see their hairstyles, their backgrounds, their stories. Yeah, some of you are laughing. Some of them don't have hairstyles.